Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. It's no secret that gratitude can be a lot harder than it seems, and it can sometimes feel downright cheesy. This resistance isn't just a matter of culture. In fact, there are a few fascinating reasons that we often find it difficult or even off-putting to put gratitude at the center stage of our lives. The first reason that people often find it hard to feel gratitude is that we think we are responsible for all of the good things that happen in our lives. Here's a quote. Since the time of the philosopher Seneca or before, having a high opinion of oneself has been seen as the chief obstacle to feeling or expressing gratitude. And it is understandable, dare I say natural, to assume that our actions are the main differentiator between our life and someone else's life. They are very important, but sometimes we give ourselves a little bit too much credit, forgetting that the people and circumstances in our lives are really important factors in our success. Dr. Emmons refers to this as the web of interconnectedness. This means the intricate relationship between us, other people, the context we live in, planned events, unplanned events, and any number of factors that we just can't even see. He says that we can be blind to the sum of our good fortunes, and this plays a huge role in blocking us from expressing our gratitude. One good way to combat this is to regularly do a modified version of the exercise, 3 good things. It's a really simple question. You ask yourself, what are 3 good things that have happened to me? This could be 3 good things in your childhood if you want to be more specific, or 3 good job opportunities, 3 people that you met. You can ask yourself as many questions like this as you want, and you will begin to see that there is a vast web of interconnectedness that supports every good thing that has happened in your life. The second reason that we can find it hard to feel grateful is that we want everything right now. Here's another quote. Entitlement is a perversion of reality. A sense of entitlement undermines the ability to freely accept life's blessings. For me to feel grateful for what I receive, I must translate my entitlements into gifts and recognize that I have no claim on them. This is a potentially more insidious version of our human tendencies. We feel entitled to the gifts of the world. Most of us can admit that we've had the thought cross our mind, I deserve this, or the more potent version of that, the world owes me this. A study was undertaken in the University of California, Irvine, that found students being driven by a greater sense of entitlement were more likely to have a less positive view of themselves. They sought out less feedback, and when it was given, they received it with indignation rather than appreciating the direction. This sense of entitlement, according to Dr. Emmons, breeds the resentment that becomes ingratitude. He quotes the social commentator Roger Scruton. Ingratitude grows in proportion to the benefits received. When those good things are offered as rights and without cost or effort, they are taken for granted. In such conditions, there arises what we might call a culture of ingratitude. One that does not merely forget to give thanks, but regards thanks as somehow demeaning, a confession of weakness, a way of according to the other person an importance that they do not have. So, how do we address this culture of ingratitude within ourselves? Dr. Emmons' solution is interesting. He advises us to cultivate humility. Humble people find it easier to be grateful, in part because they can admit that they need help, that in the words of John Donne, no man is an island. And the third reason it's sometimes hard to feel grateful or thankful is that we live in a very individualistic society. We live in a world that puts individuals on pedestals and assigns ideas and results to one person. We promote one employee without taking into account who they had to lean on to get their project done. We honour people with awards, leaving it up to them whether they acknowledge the support they had along the way or not. This trains people in our society to see an excellent result, a 7-figure business. That captures our zeitgeist very well, and praise only the most visible person. Living in a society such as this, it really is no wonder that people consider gratitude cheesy. It is quite literally the opposite of what we are conditioned to value. And the fourth reason is the more we get, the more we expect. Imagine this scenario. You're chilling on the couch. Your other half comes in having spent the morning running errands in town. You feel great because you've been chilling, so you look up at them expecting them to be as happy to see you as you are to see them. But they come back at you with a barrage of things that you didn't do while they were out doing all of those errands. Arlie Hochschild at the University of California, Berkeley did a study in the 1980s about this very scenario, and it's called the economy of gratitude. When somebody else does something for you, you become accustomed to it. It stops being such a gift to you, and a lack of appreciation can develop. Interactions like this one are important. They give you a chance to express gratitude, and according to studies, can even increase the longevity of your relationships. Number 5 on this list is that we fear rejection for doing something different. It's natural to want approval from other people, but you probably shouldn't base your self-esteem and your decisions on other people's opinions. We as humans are programmed to watch out for danger. It was an important part of our evolution to sense every danger so that we could survive and that the species could survive. The problem is we've adapted this to our modern lives. We find ourselves afraid to speak up in a meeting or try out something new because we're afraid of being judged. Like expressing gratitude more openly, or even starting a gratitude practice in your home where somebody close to you has certain opinions about it that might be unhelpful for you in starting this new habit. Really though, there is no sense in bringing a primal fear of being cast out by your tribe into ordinary life, where we're taking a small social risk. You will not be rejected or cast out from humanity for trying something new or for acting a tiny bit different than usual. And number 6 on this list is that we are stuck in a negative habit loop. Just as gratitude can become a way of life for anybody, so can ingratitude. This video has already covered in detail some of the ways a lack of appreciation can transform into a habit that is hard to break. But what you do once you're already there and struggling to make gratitude a part of your day-to-day life is a little bit more difficult. The problem is you're stuck in a habit loop, but the good news is that ingratitude is a habit like any other and you can break it. And number 7 on this list is that we are often rewarded for being stuck in negativity. You might have heard, even in one of my videos, that we can make a habit break by creating a new reward system and positive association. But did you know that the chemicals in our brain that are responsible for those positive feelings, that is dopamine, is also triggered by repeating bad behaviors and bad habits? That's because our brains like to be proved right. As long as you are holding on to negative thoughts like, gratitude is nonsense, this is cheesy, I got here on my own, I have nobody to thank, oh, this is just a little bit too hard, there's nothing to be grateful for, your mind will look for as much evidence as possible to prove you right. And you can get a little hit of dopamine every time you find some evidence. That gives you a justification for not changing, even if a belief or a behavior is harmful to you in the long run. So those are the 7 reasons that it can often be hard to practice gratitude. And if you can relate to a lot of the things that I've said in this video, don't feel too bad about it, because we're all programmed by society to value certain things, and unfortunately for a lot of us, gratitude is not one of them. What you can do is use some of the tips in this video and some of the tips from my habit breaking video to try to practice a little bit more gratitude day to day and not worry too much about what other people think about it. Catch you next time.